I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Mayor and City Council for the month of November. Invocation. Mr. Shaw, would you give us an invocation?
We'll stand. Lord, we just want to thank you for the many blessings that you've given us. Lord, we thank thee for taking care of us. Lord, we just ask your blessing on our meeting tonight. Just be with us as we discuss the items that are important to this city and to this parish. And Lord, we'll give you the honor and glory for everything that's done. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Now, may we observe a moment of silence for Mr. Peyton Spears. He was a former city councilman that passed away and buried this past week. Amen. Now, Mr. Moore, would you pledge?
Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Moore,
Here.
Mr. Johnson,
Here.
Mr. Shaw,
Here.
Mr. Armstrong,
Here.
Mr. Lott,
Here.
all present, Mayor.
Okay. Are there any announcements? Okay. Public comments as related to items on the agenda. Approval previous minutes, regular meeting October 9th, 2014.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
We have a motion by Mr. Moore.
Second.
Second by Mr. Johnson, Mr. Shaw. Any discussion? All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Financial Committee report, Mr. Shaw.
Yes, Mayor. I move that we accept the bills and claims report for the month of October.
Resolution.
Second.
We got a motion and a second for Resolution 141584. Any discussion? All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Resolution 141588, a resolution authorizing the City of Bastrop through its mayor to make applications to USDA Rural Development Program for a grant in order to purchase police cars. It's just a regular application that we do, that we got the last 3 cars for, and we're just trying to get pass a resolution to submit it to USDA to get the money to buy the cars. I guess for the last few years, that's the only way we have been able to buy cars.
May I make that motion?
We have a motion by Mr. Locke,
I'll second that motion.
a second by Mr. Moore. Any discussion? All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Resolution 141589, a resolution commending Harry Downey Black upon retirement as Chief of the Bastrop Police Department. Chief Black. And I'll read it. So, yeah. A resolution commending Harry Downey Black upon retirement as Chief of the Bastrop Police Department. Whereas Chief Harry Downey Black has faithfully served the citizens of the City of Bastrop, Louisiana for 13 and a half combined years, serving as Chief for 5.5 years. And whereas Chief Harry Downey Black has served under 3 mayors, Mayor Clarence W. Hawkins, Mayor Betty Olive, Mayor Arthur E. Jones. Whereas Chief Harry Downey Black has capably served the Bastrop Police Department and has consistently upheld the high standard and tradition of the city of Bastrop and the Bastrop Police Department. Whereas Chief Harry Downey Black also worked along with all other city departments and has often commanded for his excellent work by local and state agencies. Whereas Chief Harry Downey Black has terminated his tenure as chief of Bastrop Police Department upon retirement on November 15th, which is tomorrow, 2014. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Bastrop, Louisiana, in a public meeting held on November 13th, 2014, that they be duly commend, applauded, and honor Chief Harry Downey Black for his devoted service to the community, and encourage all citizens of the City of Bastrop, Louisiana, to join them in expressing their grateful appreciation for his contribution to the city, to his fellow citizens, and to the Bastrop Police Department.
Thank you, man.
Chief Black. Yes, you Speech.
First of all, I'd like to say it's been an honor to serve with the men and women of the Bastrop Police Department. I love every one of them without exception. There are a lot of good officers there, every one of them. Also, it's been a privilege to serve the citizens of Bastrop for, well, I've been here 27 years, and half that time has been with the Sheriff's Office, and half of it's been with the Police Department. So all the people of Morehouse Parish have been good. Morehouse Parish has been good to me. I have no plans to leave it. And it's been a privilege to serve them. It's been a pleasure to serve with you here, the mayor and aldermen on this board, as well as the other previous mayors and aldermen. I've enjoyed working with all the city employees. I mean, every one of them. I mean, they've been good, loyal people to the city, and enjoyed working with them. And it's just been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Resolution 14-1590. A resolution authorizing the mayor to make application, execute agreements through the capital outlay for funding to replace the roof of the City Hall. This is a process that started a few years ago for capital outlay. We've had, I guess, one section of City Hall redone in the last 36 years since it was done, but the main building has never had a roof. The process has already started. We were awarded part of the capital improvement for this year for the engineering study. So in order to get the rest of the money, we had to reapply. And that's what this is, a resolution reapplying for the rest of the funds to do the City Hall.
I move to approve.
I second.
Okay, what was that?
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve for the, apply for the funds for capital outlay. Any discussion? All for? Aye. Against? Now, back to Resolution 14-1589, a resolution on the chief. We didn't vote on it.
I make that motion.
Oh, we have a motion and a second. All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Resolution 14-1591. Resolution authorizing the mayor to make applications, execute agreements through capital outlay for funding to install fiber optic cable in Coulter Industrial Park. I guess our tenants out in Industrial Park have been asking for fiber optic cable, and we've been having trouble trying to get it out there. Well, we did find out in the last couple of months that it's close, and we can get it there a lot easier than we thought we were at a different expense. So this is trying to get capital money to bring it into the industrial park. And we're talking, it's over $200,000.
May I make a motion that we accept this?
We have a motion to apply for the funds
Second.
and a second. Any discussion? All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Okay, ordinance 4228. An ordinance to amend, supplement, redesignate, and restate the existing provision of the Code of Ordinance number 6-1 through 6-19, and to provide for and maintain building codes, permitting requirements and the enforcement thereof in the city of Bastrop, and to provide otherwise as may be required with respect thereof. And I will have to call on Mr. Lawrence.
Yes, sir. Mayor, this is an effort to bring the city of Bastrop building codes into sync with the state of Louisiana building code requirements. Specifically, we have to go in and to adopt what are 19 sections of what would be the code of ordinances for the city of Bastrop that govern building codes. We revisited the section of the ordinances where this is already addressed, and basically we're going to amend and supplement that section, redesignate one section from the current 6.2 to 6.2.1, and enact 6.1 through 6-19, a wholesale reenactment of all the building codes, which upon adoption will bring us into sync with state law. And I think this is up for actual adoption tonight. It's not just the first read. So we need a vote on tonight.
I make the motion to approve.
Second.
We had a motion, Mr. Armstrong, and second by Mr. Johnson. Any discussion? All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Discussion action, accepting bids for hay cutting at the Industrial Park and Morehouse Memorial Airport. Actually, we had no bids submitted, so we will have to re-advertise again. And number 13, with Chief Black retiring, I would like to ask if we could appoint Assistant Chief Bubba or Huey McDuffie as acting interim chief until a chief is appointed.
May I make that motion? Second.
We have a motion and a second that Assistant Chief McDuffie be appointed interim. Any discussion? All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Liquor license renewal. Chief? Now he's wondering which one.
Mayor and Councilman, I'd like to recommend the following establishments for renewal of their liquor license for the year 2015. Happy Stop, 1920 North Washington Street, Class A, retail dealer off premises only. Kangaroo Express, number 3452, 1514 East Madison Avenue, Class A, retail dealer off premises only. Super One Foods, number 603, 2211 East Madison Avenue, Class A, retail dealer off premises only. Fiesta Linda, 1065 East Madison Avenue, Class R, restaurant license. Dad's Sports Bar and Grill, 1703 North Washington Street, Class B, retail dealer on premises. Supermart 2, 1920 North Washington, Class A, retail dealer off premises only. I know that's
The
got the
same
same
address.
address, so I don't know if that's duplication or not. Pinky's Quick Stop, 1013 A-Rant, Class A retail dealer off premises only. Additionally, Porterhouse Liquor, 1851 North Washington Street, Class A, retail dealer off premises only. And another addition was Stop and Shop, 1001 East Madison Avenue, Class A, retail dealer off premises only.
I think we skipped Zeke.
Zeke, let me see. Oh, Zeke's Place, 432 West Madison Avenue, Class B, retail dealer on premises.
And we'll check on the address on, at 1920.
Here's two different places, you got the wrong address.
Okay.
Subject to that correction, we should be okay, since, you know, we can confirm that they do have two different addresses.
Okay. What would be your,
Make that motion to accept.
we have a
Second that
motion
motion.
and a second. Any discussion? All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Okay, I'll ask for a motion to expand the agenda to hear from Mr. Gerald Smith of PAC and Mr. Sistrunk from the Morehouse Parish Police Jury.
I make that motion, Mayor.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Who's that? Mr. Gerald Smith? Over here, come to the mic.
Good evening, I'm Gerald Smith with PAC Environmental. I've worked with several of y'all before here, with Mayor Olive. And we just basically wanted to come up and reintroduce ourselves again. We're a full-service environmental company from just down the road in Swartz. We offer a full service, full range of environmental services, everything from just the simple inspections and stuff all the way down to full asbestos planning, environmental planning, asbestos inspections, work, help with your grants or whatever. I just want to hit on a couple of points that anytime, of course, y'all know this, anytime you apply for a grant, or about half the time that involves any kind of property or anything, one of your requirements is going to be having an environmental assessment, which is basically, will this project change anything in the local environment? Or an environmental impact study. If you think it will, then you have to show by a study what it will do. And those are almost every grant that involves any kind of property change or anything, you have to do those. We provide those for have provided in the past and can provide in the future. Also, if you go buy any property with the grant money, they will want to have a phase 1 or possibly a phase 2 environmental assessment. Just stuff as simple as City of Monroe last year got a grant to convert some of their rec centers for hurricane shelters for people from South Louisiana. Prior to us receiving the money to do that, they had to do lead paint inspections because there'd be children there. They had to do asbestos inspections, and they had to do phase 1 environmental assessments for these existing rec centers that they'd had for years, but to get the money, they had to do that. So there's a need for that kind of applications. Also, we've talked about before, y'all know it better than I, that after losing the mill, the town it really needs to build up businesses and whatever, get investment from out of town, somebody coming in. When they come in from the Monroe direction, from the airport, you have some derelict buildings or dilapidated, that just looks bad for the city. If the city wants to or wanted to get out, come up with a program to try to remove some of these, try to take some of them down. I mean, it's benefits all the way around. The general public loves it because their city looks better, more pride in their city. You would impress people coming in. You would have properties more build ready for new businesses, what have you. And what it would do would be, one, increase the property value of the property around there, have new businesses come in, all of which will eventually create income for the city and help the city be able to afford to get more and more for the citizens. All of that requires environmental assessments up front, and then when you do condemn the buildings, with you talking about the bringing everything up to snuff on your building codes and what have you, then to tear these buildings down, the law requires that you go in and do asbestos inspections on them before you tear them down. We're able to do that. We've worked with City of Monroe for the last 10 years doing that. We've worked with smaller towns, City of Grambling. We're on an ongoing thing with doing that for Lake Providence. We've worked with Tallulah. We did jobs in Alexandria here the last few days. But all of that, every one of these instances, we do something different with the cities, whatever the city needs, and we can work with you, work with the cities, work with the board or whoever they decide to help it work out. Now, we've done this enough that we know what the state ordinances and everything are, where we could work with or give to your legal representation. This is what you have to have in your code. This is how you have to apply it. This is what you can do and can't do. It's about you coming in, condemning somebody's property, tell them, you got 90 days or 120 days to either clean it up or repair it or take it down or whatever. If they don't, the city has the right to come in and take it and clean it up and back charge the property or do a tax lien against the property. There's several things they can do. That's all in the state statutes. So it would be a matter of just coordinating that into now that you're revising them, into your building code and having that as part of it. We have worked with, like I say, several cities from everything from just subcontracting, doing inspections, to helping them organize the whole thing. There are other projects. We've done several lately. In fact, we just finished working on a project for closing out a sewer pond, because people are leaving them and going to mechanical treatment, where in the past, the state required you to come in, pump all the water out, dig up all the sludge, everything down to native soil, haul it away as contaminated soil, contaminated waste, have to have all that permitted and everything with this. They did a pilot program this summer to allow closing one of them in place, treating the sludge in place, getting it closed in place. You don't have the hauling fees, you don't have the disposal fees, you don't have all this other stuff. And we were the environmental company that actually did that job under a pilot study from DEQ. So we've had expertise in that kind of stuff, working with closed out sewer treatment plants. We work with Tallulah on some of that stuff. So there's many areas that that the city has a need for. And the biggest thing is we're in beautiful downtown Swartz down here. You call us on the phone, we'd be up here in 30 minutes. And we have people, we're a small company, but we're a full service company, can do anything small or big. We're veteran owned, small business. We're registered as such. But we have environmental engineers, we have toxicologists, we have whatever requirement that you may have to come up and work with the city and provide whatever you need. Yes, this is a sales pitch, but by the same token, I'm just trying to say, look, we're here, we can help, we want to be partners with you in whatever environmental needs you have. We're as far away as the telephone. You can call me. Dean Blackett over here is our CEO. He also is a Morehouse Parish resident, owns property here in Bastrop. He or I, you get us hold of us on the phone, and we answer questions all day long for free. We'll help you out. We'll walk through, and we just would be happy to work with y'all on any of this if we can. And if, if we can't, we'll still answer questions. We'll be still be available for that. I have some little handouts here to tell you basically what we do, if you don't mind me leaving them here,
Not at
and
all.
y'all can pick them up. And I'll leave a couple of business cards for Dean and myself. And I appreciate y'all making time to listen to us tonight. And appreciate it. Y'all got any questions or anything?
No, but we'd like to thank you for coming by.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Although Dean was looking for donuts and coffee, but you know how that goes,
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. And now we'll have Sis Strong from Wells Police Jury about the garbage tax.
I promise to be brief. I had met with the mayor earlier today on another distantly related matter, and we have found out since our 2 cent or half cent sales tax is coming up for renewal, that there's some misconception inside the city of Bastrop, or maybe even inside the other city limits. But we've had 3 or 4 people, when we've been talking to them about it, that said, well, look, I live in the city. Why am I going to vote for the tax? The city picks up my garbage. And, we just kind of, no. What I'm here tonight for is to ask, y'all are just like the members of the jury. You have a constituency that you talk to, that you see a lot of on a daily basis, have employees that work for you inside the city limits and in your private businesses out where you're working at. And we just need them to know that this half-cent sales tax picks up all the garbage in Morehouse Parish. If that half-cent sales tax does not pass on December the 6th, on January the 1st, you're going to pick your garbage up out of your garbage can, and your wife or whichever one of y'all does it's going to tie it together, and then you're going to have to look at that sack of garbage and say, well, now what am I going to do with it? Because there's nobody picking it up. The half-cent sales tax pays for us to pick up door to door. If we used a third party, came in and bid and got our garbage in Morehouse Parish, got out of the garbage business and went back to where it was when we had a third party doing it, that half-cent sales tax what pays them too. That is the only money we have dedicated, and it is strictly dedicated to the garbage pickup. So we just need y'all's help, and that's what I'm here to ask for. Y'all to help us get the word out in the community that if this don't pass, you're going to be hiring a private individual to do it. One of the guys had estimated maybe $100 a month that you're going to have to pay for somebody to come pick your garbage up. More than likely, a lot of it's going to end up on our streets, in our road ditches, and in the byes. And that's not what we need, and that's not what we want. I know the city doesn't. That looks real, real bad for economic development. To have somebody come into town, and the first thing they see is a ditch full of garbage sacks. And we at the jury have worked real, real hard trying to liberalize our litter laws to help with the picking up of it. So to stop, because I said I was going to be brief, I get pretty passionate about garbage pickup, but it's real, real important. So I'm just here on behalf of the jury to ask for y'all's help. Thank you.
In other words, what you really want to let everyone know that the city does not pick up garbage.
City of Bastrop, the city of Maroon, the city of Bonita, the city of Collingston, and the city of Oak Ridge does not have one garbage truck.
Right.
All of the garbage trucks belong to Morehouse Parish. We're the only one who pick it up. And that half-cent sales tax pays for it. And by the way, because we don't have this at the jury, so I know there's some folks that may see it, we got 3 brand-new trucks on the road. After the first of the year, we're working on getting 2 more, which will give us 5 brand-new trucks. So if the tax passes, If it don't, them 3 gonna be sold.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Trey. Any other discussion? And a lot of people actually think Bastrop picks up garbage, but we don't. We get a lot of calls about garbage, and so inform people, this tax is for the city. It's going to the police jury, but it's for the city. It's the only one picks up garbage in the parish, period. Okay.
Mayor,
Anything else?
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Is that-